Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I welcome you all to our 760th meeting of Chennai Toastmasters Club. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in such a way that the members are empowered to improve their communication skills and leadership skills, and thereby resulting in greater personality growth and self confidence. Here are a few ground rules for the meeting. Keep your mobile phones on the silent mode. Do not talk about taboo topics such as sex, language, or religion. Kindly sit in a silent atmosphere so that you can hear what the speaker is speaking. Kindly be on mute until it is your turn to speak, and then you can unmute yourself. If you have any message to be shared or conveyed, please use the chat box below. With this, I hand over the control to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranju, who is currently working as the production manager at Asian Paints and who is also serving as the president of our club. Over to you, Toastmaster Ranju.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta, for that wonderful introduction. On this wonderful meeting, the 760th meeting of Chennai Toastmasters Club, I would like to welcome you all once again. And this is also the second meeting of this new year, so which we have started with a bang in the last meeting. I would like to take this opportunity also to welcome and acknowledge the presence of our area director, Toastmaster Nadira, in this meeting. And also our guest speaker, Toastmaster Pankaja, who would be delivering a wonderful speech and a learning for us. So thank you both of you for attending. On this meeting, I would like to start with a small thought about belief. So once a gentleman was crossing an elephant camp, and he noticed that some huge elephants were being tied with a small rope to these poles. And he noticed that there were no chains or cages to hold these elephants back. But there were no elephants who were like trying to leave the cage or trying to run away from the camp. So he got curious and he went to the trainer and asked them, why is this elephant not escaping from this camp, even though it is tied to such a tiny rope? So this trainer explained to him, when these elephants were young, we used the same rope to tie them. The same rope was keeping them from running at that point. And this elephant is now conditioned to believe that this rope can still hold them back. My dear friends, now you understand how much is the power of belief. I had many such situations in my younger life where many people around me, my parents, my friends, my relatives had told me many things which I have achieved today is not possible by me. And you all might be having a very similar situations as well. So I want you to all remember this small story, small, tiny story. And remember, no matter how much the world holds you back, you should always believe that what you think is possible. And believing that you can be successful is the first step in achieving that. On this note, I would like to open 760th meeting. And now we would like to hand over the controls to Toastmaster Nanda, our secretary, who would be reading the observations by our general evaluator in the previous meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Ranju. The last meeting number 759, we had an awesome meeting. All the role players, TMOD, all did a fabulous job. But the general evaluator of last meeting had some few recommendations for us to take our meeting to even higher level of quality. The first recommendation is that if there is any change in the agenda, all role players should be informed well in advance so that there's no confusion during the meeting or to avoid unnecessary disruptions and discussions. The second recommendation is that a table topic master should always give priority to non-role players. Only if there is no non-role player available, he could call for a role player. Thank you with these recommendations. I wish all the best to all role players and looking for the rocking meeting number 760. Over to you, Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda, for that, for the feedback from the previous meeting. I'm sure that we will definitely implement all this feedback. And it is always about progress and how much we achieve in each meetings and how much we progress from the previous meetings. And today, to conduct this meeting, we have a wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. He works with Indian Railways. And when I see him, I remember one thing. Even though you get old, you're young at heart. And he is a very vibrant person and a very active person who is always keen in taking new roles and new challenges. We have seen him as Santa Claus in the past. Now he is here with us to enthrall us with a new theme, with a totally different concept. Over to you, Toastmaster Srikanth, for the Toastmaster of the day and taking the theme forward.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ranju. Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, Ranju, for reminding me that I'm getting old. My wife is sitting next to me. She had a broad smile on her face. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that I'm going to be your host for today's meeting. And to tell you something about Toastmasters meeting, it is always a very interesting meeting that you can really look forward to. And today is not going to be any different. It's going to be absolutely amazing, thrilling, and fun-filled 2 hours. I guarantee you that. Now, we have heard this a couple of times, or some of you would have heard it many times, and most of you would have shared this to others several times, from your friends, your parents, your well-wishers. Anybody who wants to say something good about you has these words to say. The words to motivate you and words to inspire and encourage you. I agree with you that you should have heard it also. But what makes the difference in these kinds of motivation? What makes the difference in these kinds of inspiring words? See, you can hear any amount of motivation, you can get any amount of inspiration. But what really it boils down to is that it never really works for a person who is not having the basic necessities for him to get motivated. Let me say it once again to you. You can hear motivation, but you may not get inspired or motivated. It can fall on deaf ears. So what is required to be motivated? You have something which is really needed to feel inspired, and all these things that is required, a basic instinct requirement for any human being, no matter what position, no matter color, creed, or whatever gender he is, it all comes down to these theories. There are certain theories which, when fulfilled, your motivation is going to hit the bullseye, which means a person to be motivated has to satisfy some theoretical or physical, physiological, emotional, something is required for him to receive what you say and for the other person to hear what you're giving. So we are going to talk about those theories during the course of today's meeting. During the transition period, I will be sharing different theories. When a person is having these, I can guarantee you, when you talk to him or inspire him, you're hitting the bullseye. Okay. Now, as I said, today's meeting is going to be very interesting. No doubt about it. I can guarantee you that. Well, any Toastmasters meeting, yes, I want you to know this. Any Toastmasters meeting basically have 3 segments. The first would be the prepared speech. A prepared speech, for your information, is very enthusiastic, vibrant, and talented speakers would come on screen and speak to you about certain projects that they have taken up. There would be certain objectives which you would hear from their evaluators, and based on those objectives, they are going to give you the speech. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the most interesting and the most prominent session which all of us, even the guests, are looking forward to. This session is where you realize how talented you are as a speaker. I can guarantee you that. Only fear is that you don't want to come and speak. But once you start taking part in this session, you would realize, oh my God, I could speak so well. And that is the table topic session, where we would have a topic master who would be giving you a random question or a random topic, very simple, no doubt about it, something related to the theme or the word of the day. He would give you a topic and you could volunteer yourself and speak on that for a minute or 2. Very interesting. I urge all of you, especially the guests who are here, to take up this topic. and you would be surprised. Rather, you can have your friends and families listen to you when you're going on the screen and speaking live. So that's the second session. Third session is the interesting part again, where you can get all kind of butterflies in your stomach. You're going to hear how good you have done as a speaker, as a role player, and the entire meeting, how good it was. We would have a general evaluator. This person or this Toastmaster is going to evaluate the entire session, right from the word go till the very end. He is going to evaluate everything, and he is going to give you a concise report on what went really well in this meeting. And I doubt everything is going to be going well. And a place where there could be some kind of improvements, a suggestion, a couple of them if required. So he would be the general evaluator. So these are the sessions: prepared speech, where speakers come and speak on the objectives they have practiced and they have to speak about, table topics, and general evaluation. Having said that, it's now time for me to introduce that person who's going to evaluate the entire session. We call him the general evaluator. And today's general evaluator is Toastmaster Deepak. Deepak is an IT professional. He's a tech lead with a leading IT company, a wildlife photographer, and very interesting thing, and I'm expecting him to give me a call to come over and enjoy his cooking. He is a great chef. Yeah, he's a good chef, you know. So let's put our hands together. Let's welcome Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you very much, Srikanth, Toastmaster Srikanth Kutikrishnan. Yes, I am a little bit over exaggerated here on the chef side, but I'm good. I'm a chef as well, and a wildlife photographer as well. So now, as a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the entire meeting, and my role is to evaluate anything and everything during the entire course of the meeting. And to help me with it, I have two wonderful team with me. The first team is called the tag team. So we call the tag team, like you would have seen in the wrestling, there is always a tag team champion, which is nothing but 3 persons fighting against each other. Whereas here in Toastmasters, we have this tag team who is very competitive and who is very energetic team and who runs this entire show, which is nothing but timer. And the second tag team member is the grammarian, and the third tag team member is the accountant. So now, introducing you the timer. Our timer today is Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. He is a software engineer and at Applied Materials India and current VP for Public Relations for Chennai Toastmasters Club. And again, I would gladly welcome you to please present your roles clearly, Mr. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Deepak Thompson. As a timer, I will note down the time taken by each speakers, including prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific time remaining. For example, a table topic speech should be limited to a maximum of 2 minutes, and at 1 minute, I will raise a green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. So at the end of the meeting, I'll give the report when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. Thank you for clearing up your roles. Now, coming on to grammarian, we have a very senior Toastmaster and our past president of Chennai's Toastmasters Club, Mr. Toastmaster Venu, and he is a joint secretary in Civil Aviation School by profession. And we would like to explain, we would like to welcome you to explain your roles. Mr. Toastmaster Venu.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, one and all. Today I am the grammarian. As a grammarian, today my duty is to note down the good usage of English language as well as not so good usage of English language. And today's word of the day is ameliorate. Ameliorate. A-M-E-L-I-O-R-A-T-E. Ameliorate means to make something better or improve. This word of the day has some significance. Personal touch, because this is the word of the day when I deliver my icebreaker speech 7 years ago. So I used 8 times in my icebreaker speech. Even DTM Nina, she evaluated my speech, she knows that. So I'm expecting someone is going to break my record that I use 8 times this word of the day. So today someone is going to use the word more than 8 times. So expecting a lot, and I request everyone, every role players and the speakers and whoever is going to take the stage, please use the word of the day. It's a very easy to use. The example of this word of the day is proper preparation of your roles. Ameliorate the proper delivery. So ameliorate means improve or make something better. So I will submit my report at the end of the meeting. Then I will be called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venu. We will definitely ameliorate going forward. And we have an counter in our midst who is none other than Toastmaster Manoj. He is from Kerala and he is working in Chennai as a finance expert. He loves connecting with people, and we would like nothing more. We would like to connect with you all the time and every time. Over to you, Toastmaster Manoj.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Deepak, for that wonderful introduction. And very good evening, Toastmasters. And today my role is that of the counter, where I will be watching your speeches to take note of the sounds, fillers, unwanted fillers, etc. from your speeches. For example, or inappropriate interjections like and, but, as, so, something like that. And I will reproduce them or report them when I'm called upon to do so by the General Evaluator. Thank you so much. I hope it will ameliorate the speakers to come out with better speeches in the subsequent stages. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. There is another set of team who is going to evaluate the speakers, whom I will be introducing them during the course of the session. For now, I will hand over the control back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kuti Krishnan. Until then, stay tuned.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Thank you for that wonderful introduction of what General Evaluation is all about. Thank you once again. Well, all of us have conversation with our friends, with our relatives, with our spouse, with our girlfriend, with our boyfriend, whoever it is, we have a conversation. And what is interesting is that when you have a conversation, you want to drive home a point. You want to say something very important. Along with that, you use a couple of quotes. So when you say those quotes, it adds more credibility and it strikes a chord with the listener. So now to hear some interesting quotes, we have our Toastmaster for today's meeting, Toastmaster Vignesh. Toastmaster Vignesh is a first-time role player, very enthusiastic Toastmaster, and I request Toastmaster Vignesh to just tell us what the quote that he has to share with us. Over to you, Toastmaster Vignesh.
Hello. Thank you, Srikant Kuti Krishnan. Is it audible? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Okay. There are many ways to find success in life, no matter what path we are taking. It's always important to make a commitment to learning. To stay relevant, hungry, and motivated, we need a lifelong commitment to education and growth. It doesn't mean that you need to go back to grade school or pursue a formal education. It does mean that you need to continue learning from others. If you really want to invite inspiration to strike, you need a commitment to learn something new from every single day. That is, you can read books, listen podcasts, or staying updated with the people, news, or something like that. So by reading and listening every day, it can improve your mental library of information, which can make your brain connections, which can lead to for your innovation. So learning is the fuel for the innovation. Do you want to be interesting? If so, be interested not only with the people who you talk to, but in different ideas and knowledge and topics. Uh, the more you learn, the more things you can able to talk about. If you have a wider field of interest and knowledge, you are able to connect more deeply with a wide variety of people. It will help for your career. Did you know that actually learning can help you live longer? Yes, learning can prevent Alzheimer, reduce stress, and improve your concentration and memory power. So don't waste your time. Commit your every day to learn something new. So it improve your overall well-being. So I will end up with saying with the quote: "If you stop learning, you start dying." Thank you. Over to Srikanth Kuttikrishnan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vignesh. And there are others who, during a conversation, use a phrase, a couple of phrases, which gives a figurative meaning about the phrase that they are using. So those are called as idioms. Idioms. So today we have our idiom master going to share with us an idiom or maybe a couple of idioms that would be interesting for all of us, for me to hear also. So I request Toastmaster Tarun, our idiom master, to please give us a few idioms.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to do as idiom master. Idioms are words which shows the indirect meaning of a sentence or a word. Example, it's raining cats and dogs. In this statement, this gives an indirect meaning of the sentence, it's raining very heavily. Idioms in our language ameliorate our daily conversation. But if we take phrases, they are also kind of similar to idioms, but they tell the direct meaning to they tell the direct meaning to a sentence. For example, a fleet of ships, a flock of birds. If we see in this, idioms make us think a bit, but by hearing phrase, we can easily catch the meaning. So don't be confused. Sometimes if we use idioms with a person who has not learned what idioms are, then the sentence we say will be understood in a humorous way. For example, how cats and dogs will fall from sky? So some more coming apart. Some more examples of idioms are cut no ice, which means not to force someone to change their decisions. And the last example is talk through his hat. Someone talking without understanding what they have to talk about in a group or with someone else. And I'll be making a quick recap on idioms what we have learned today. First one, it's raining like cats and dogs. Second one, cut no ice. And the last one, talk through his hat. Thank you. Now over to Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Kuttikrishnan.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tarun. Now, are we ready? The most interesting speakers. We have 3 brilliant speakers lined up for you. Amazing speakers. And let me also remind you, the third speaker is a champion, humorous speaker. So very interesting session. I'm really excited to hear these people. These guys going to speak various topics. And also, there is a slight change in the agenda. The first speaker is Toastmaster Puneet. And before I call Toastmaster Puneet, This evaluator is Toastmaster Geeta. So those of you who have the agenda which was printed, there's a slight change, there's a back out due to an urgent situation. So Toastmaster Punit is going to be our first speaker. And before I call Toastmaster Punit, I would like to call Toastmaster Geeta to please read out the project objectives of Toastmaster Punit's speech. Toastmaster Geeta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Shrikant. Good evening, everybody. Toastmaster Puneet is giving his persuasive path, level 3, project 2. The speech title is When in Doubt. Coming to the speech objectives, the purpose of the project is for the member to practice using a story within the speech or giving a speech that is a story. Timer, please note the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Toastmaster Geeta. I'm sorry, Geeta. Thank you very much for the objectives. The first speaker is Toastmaster Puneet. Puneet is an intern with PCC Coimbatore. And Toastmaster Puneet's speech title is When in Doubt. When in Doubt, Toastmaster Puneet.
It was October the 1st, 2020. I was moments away in taking the most important decision of my life. I was just a click away and I felt a sudden feel of freedom coming through my body. But then there was a sense of doubt which was permeating inside my heart. What would this person say? After all, he was responsible for transforming my life. I felt like Neil Armstrong, who had kept his first foot on the moon. And in my case, I felt like one small click on the laptop screen, one giant leap for Puneet's lifetime. But I was still doubtful what this person would tell me. And I took up the courage, decided to call this person. Now, let me tell you how it all started. It all started when I was 10 years of a child. You see, I was the most inquisitive kid in my school. I would ask the most hilarious question to teachers. For example, just to name a few, teacher, how do astronauts pee themselves in space? Teacher, what if we mix tea and coffee? Will it be called as toffee? Why does Earth goes around the sun and not the other way around? I would ask such amazing inquisitive question. And on one fine day, the teacher got angry and scolded at me. Puneet, can you just keep quiet? Let me complete my class. And that was the first day I ever realized how it means to be getting scolded by a teacher. Have you ever been scolded by your teacher? How did you feel? Now that day I realized what others would think about me, especially my teacher. Just asking doubt is putting yourself in a trouble situation. That incident set the course of my life. The next time I ever had doubt, I would be hesitant. I would think, what would the teacher think about me? What would my friends think about me? And I would accept anything at face value. I kept the doubt within myself, and that set me on a path of self-destruction. I somehow managed to sail through my school and college, but it was time to enter my first job at Mahindra & Mahindra. An amazing organization, beautiful people, and I was surrounded by people from IIT and NIT, and I felt like an imposter out there. After all, these are amazing people out there, and I'm just from a Tier 1 city. How do I compete with these people? In classroom session, whenever these people will have doubt, they would ask the professors and even the trainers, whereas I would be hesitant to ask. What would others think of me? Have you ever had that problem in your life, wherein you were too obsessed with what others think about you? But it was a honeymoon period. After all, it was a training session. So I somehow managed. But then reality set in. Now it was my first time to take up a proper professional role, which is customer care manager. Now, to be honest, I hate listening to customers complain. Dude, why should you listen to somebody else complain because of somebody else's fault? And I hated doing the same thing again and again. Excel, PPT, and whatnot. I was wondering what all things I have learned in my engineering graduation days. And here I am doing that Excel and PPT and solving customers' complaint. That is something which I did not like. And that set me on a path of self-destruction. Probably going to the office was just for the sake of going office. I lost my purpose, or to put it in a different way, I undergone midlife career crisis very early in my age. But thankfully, I had amazing boss out there who knew that I did not belong here and who helped me to connect with this amazing person called Mr. Harikumar Nair. Now, Hari is a man of bold but gold. I spoke with him the day. Hari sir, how are you doing today? I'm fine, beta. Tell me, how are you? I'm okay, sir. And he started his interview question. Puneet, what are the parts in engine? And I began to reply in a hesitant manner. Now, Hari sir was a man of wisdom and knew immediately what I was undergoing. Loss of self-esteem, probably finding my purpose, or I would call it living in autopilot mode without any purpose. I listened to Hari sir's advice. Beta, do you mind changing your mind? And I was already at the rock bottom. Then the only way is to go up. And he was there to lend me that hand. And I listened to the next beautiful advice. Son, when in doubt, seek out. But so what will people think about me? Stop being nonsense. Just reach out for help. Seek out. And I'm pretty sure there are people willing to help you. I listened to Hari sir's advice and he told me to start learning driving first because my new role would be demanding me to know how to drive the vehicle. And I volunteered. Of course, I reached out to my colleagues at office and they were really helpful in helping me learn driving. This is how I started driving, and thanks to my colleague who corrected me my driving posture. But sooner and later, I realized after preparing for the job interview, and after landing it to Mahindra Research Valley, Chennai, I was blessed with amazing team. I found so many amazing seniors out there willing to help us whenever I was in doubt. Sir, how does this system works? Come, I'll come and explain you. Sir, there's a dent out there in the vehicle. How do we clear it? Come, let's go to the vehicle and let's solve it together. And that's when I realized that how stupid and naive I was in reaching out to people just because I misjudged that one teacher. Fellow Toastmasters, the world is indeed a beautiful place. And there are people who will be judging us every now and then. But remember, every time you have a doubt, just seek out to people and you might find great people, amazing friendship and whatnot. And that was something which I was fortunate. So the next time when you are stuck somewhere, you don't know what to do, when you are doubtful, just seek out. And you never know, you might find amazing friendship, which I was fortunate to have. And I'm pretty sure it will be the same for you as well. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet. Thank you very much. I was very impressed by the innocence that you had during your school days, asking those questions to your teacher. Well, I asked a different question to my teacher, asking her to give me some grace marks during the exams. That's what I did to her. Anyway, the second speaker is being evaluated by Toastmaster Ritika. And before I introduce the second speaker, can I request Toastmaster Ritika to please read out the objectives of the second speaker. Toastmaster Ritika.
Hello everyone, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Great. Today my target speaker is Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. She would be presenting her icebreaker speech for the leadership development pathways. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note that the time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster Rajalakshmi is an educationalist. She's also correspondent of a leading international school for the past 8 years. So I request Toastmaster Rajalakshmi to please give her speech, which is titled About Me. About Me, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. All the very best.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Rajalakshmi, standing in front of you to give my very first speech in this club. Beautiful urban beach, bustling crowd, temple bells at 6 a.m., major academic centers, places for dreamers. Can anybody guess my birthplace? Yes, it's Bandare Varavaikam, Chennai. I belong to North Chennai. There is a myth and false story that this area is considered as underprivileged and unsafe to live, but it is not. People are kind-hearted and ready to help at any time. To talk about my family, my father is a highly committed, responsible, very disciplined and respectful businessman. 40 years back, he came to Chennai with an yellow bag and 70 rupees in his pocket. But now he is the owner of 70 lorries. He runs lorry transport. I have learned so many things from my father. Few things I would like to share. Importance of time, power of word, being honest, live the life purposefully. It's all deeply rooted into me. All thanks to my dad. My mom, she's a homemaker. She's a very kind-hearted lady. So she is the pillar and backstone of our family. One second, please go. She is a pillar of our family, yes. And the world to both of them, and very pampered child. The most important person in my world is this person who always teases me, infuriates, and protects me more than anyone in this world. Yes, is none other than my brother. Yes. One second. Aga, please, an important work. Sorry for the disturbance. Sorry, let me continue. The most important person in my life who always teases me, infuriates, and also protects me more than anyone in this world is none other than my brother. He's leading businessman in Chennai. He's very sentimental and soft-hearted person. I see this world through him. He is my moral support, my strength, my weakness too. He's always there to fulfill my needs, wishes, fantasies, and desires. Not many of you must have had your education in co-ed school, isn't it? Great, I'm one among you. But then later, getting into an engineering college with co-education system was quite unfamiliar and unfriendly. But slowly, I got adapted to the unfamiliar setup, studied well, and completed as an university topper successfully. As soon as I completed my graduation, got married to a gentleman, a software engineer by profession. He's a very humble and practical person. I'm a mother of 2 pretty daughters. Something interesting happened in the year 2012. From being a homemaker to an entrepreneur. Yes, I got an opportunity to take up the franchisee of prestigious school. I took it up, I ran it successfully. But at one point of time, my intuition told me that this branded institution might have shut down. Followed my instinct, I exited from the franchisee. I started my own school. I can proudly say here I'm the first lady who started the first international school in North Chennai. Yes, with all my pressure-packed experiences and hard works, consequently, for 4 years, we are one of the top 10 schools in Chennai, ranked by prestigious magazine. Being an educator, delivering speech is a mandatory role. It's a vital role and mandatory skill. In order to communicate efficiently and effectively to all my teachers, parents, and educators, and my dear students, I believe this Toastmaster is the best platform to mold me, to sculpt me, and ameliorate me to enhance my public speaking skills. Yes, very professionally. So, since I'm leading the team, I have chosen leadership development as my pathway here. I would like to conclude this speech with the Mother Teresa quote: I can do things you cannot, you can do things I cannot. Together, we can do great things. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption which has happened.
That's okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. Thank you very much. We are very happy that you have chosen a very noble profession. And to sum up your speech with Mother Teresa's quote was really an icing on the cake. Thank you very much. God bless you. The third speaker is the champion. We have been all waiting for her to speak. Most of you would have heard her speech on the YouTube, but now she's going to come live. Are you not interested? Yeah, all of us are interested. She's a district champion, district 96, if I'm right, humorous speech. So information and humor is going to be in her speech, I assume. To evaluate her speech is Toastmaster Nanda. Toastmaster Nanda, can you please share the objectives of the third speaker, Toastmaster Pankaja?
Thank you, TM Modi. Toastmaster Pankaja is doing a project from Engage Your Audience with Humor. The purpose of the project is to determine the style of humor and apply it to a speech which centers around a central core message. All the best, Toastmaster Pankaja. Over to you, TM Modi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nanda. Toastmaster Pankaja, it's all your time now. We are going to listen to you with rapt attention. Over to Toastmaster Pankaja. Toastmaster Pankaja.
Can you hear me and see me well?
Yeah, you can. We can see you also. Go ahead.
Yesterday, 8:30 a.m., I'm walking in front of Leena's house. Now, Leena is in her late 20s, long hair, and she's having coffee with her mom and grandma in their front garden. One look at me and Leena says, Pankaja, you have lost even more weight. Her mom, you will soon disappear. Her grandma, have 5 almonds, 5 days, every day. Why are you trying to lose weight? I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to gain weight since I was born. Almonds, dates, rocks. I've tried them all. Stop! Do you think I said all that? No. I just I have been listening to these remarks since I was born. We were in Kolkata. Worried about my weightlessness, my parents tried all kinds of treatment. Allopathy, homeopathy, sympathy, and it worked. My doctor's wallets gained weight and I gained nothing. My doctors looked at me. She's from another planet, they said. But Dad was determined. He took me, a 4-year-old, to the International Dance Academy. The principal, Mr. Always Right, looked at me. We don't take 4-year-olds. Dad said, please. As I entered the classroom, Dad said, Pankaja, move your body continuously. You'll then have a good appetite, okay? Yes, Dad. I obeyed Dad. I jumped continuously for an hour. The instructor found fault with every student, but not with me. I must be dancing well. At the end of the class, the instructor looked at me. Doesn't she jump like a grasshopper? Tiding, tiding, tiding. Over the week, I jumped in the dance academy. Over the weekend on the jumping scale. The scale would just not move. Move, move. I would then look into the mirror. When I put on 7.5 kgs, I look gorgeous. Every 7.5 months, a neighbor would say, Pankaja, if you don't put on weight, the strong winds will just blow you away. Dad said, Pankaja, their goal is to find faults with you at your expense. Don't let your goal be blown away by theirs. Focus on your goal. Summer of 2018. I am listening to a lecture on naturopathy. The speaker says, if you are underweight, naturopathy gives you the power to gain weight. Sign up for this course. What do you think I did? Yes, I signed up for this course. I did everything that they said. Water therapy, mud therapy, gossip therapy. The instructor said, you will glow. Your neighbors will come running. Pankaja, what have you done? You look gorgeous. The course ended. Monday, 7:30 a.m. I'm sprinting to catch the shuttle to work. Reena, my neighbor, calls me and comes running. Pankaja, it is happening. Pankaja, what have you done? You look sick. Should I get an ambulance? Two minutes later, Meena calls me, Pankaja, what have you done? You look 11 years older. 3 minutes later, Tina calls, Pankaja, I know I look sick, 11 years older, and I don't need an ambulance. Is that clear? Pankaja, I just wanted to say good morning. What do you think I did? I ran to catch the shuttle. Dad had said, focus on your goal. Yesterday, after speaking to Leena, I was thinking, I meet Leena almost once every week. And each time she sees me, she says, Pankaja, you have lost even more weight. On days I find her comments so provocative. And these are the days when I've not worked on my goal of writing a book. Now, you may have a different goal. You may want to do an MBA, a marathon, or marry. If you haven't worked on your goal that day, you'll find such remarks highly provocative. And if you have worked on your goal, you'll find these comments trivial. The key is to focus on your goal every day. Try it out. I've tried. On the days when I've worked on my goal, I'm in a good mood and I see Leena and she says, Pankaja, you have lost even more weight. And I say, yeah, I lose weight every week. If I go like this, I will soon disappear. Almonds, dates, rocks, nothing. I wish I had a pipe. I'll connect the pipe to you and I'll suck all your extra weight. For once, Leena was. The key is to focus on your goal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pankaja. It was fun listening to you. You had a message for all of us. focus on your goal, and literally that is what we are talking about in today's speech. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you, and we are very happy to have hosted you as our speaker. Now, I've been sharing with you how motivation needs to work. See, I have gone through this in my life. I used to listen to speakers when I was young, speakers like Shiv Khera and all the brilliant speakers. And when I hear them, I feel so inspired and I feel so motivated. No doubt about it. I'm all energy. I want to do this. I want to become that, this. But the moment the speech comes to an end, maybe a few hours, a couple of days, after which the motivation spiraling down and nothing more is happening. Something else kicks into my mind. Some needs are there for me to fulfill to stay motivated. And those are the needs which Maslow says, Maslow's needs hierarchy. So those needs are there, which we need to fulfill or we need to get so that we stay motivated. Maslow has these to say. The first and foremost thing he says, Maslow says is, your physiological needs has to be fulfilled. And what is those physiological needs? You need to have food, you need to have water, and you need to have shelter. So these are the three things that you need to have. He has a couple of them also, but the first thing he says is this: because any person without these requirements to survive, however motivation you try to bring to him or you try to inspire him, he'll be happy hearing, but again, these things are being not given to him or provided to him. So he doesn't stay motivated. The next thing he says is safety. Maslow says safety is very important. Safety, to protect yourself from dangers and deprivation. That is also very important. The next, Maslow says, is your social belonging. We human beings need a social recognition. We need affiliation. We need a family, friends, to feel that we are one among the society. He says that is also very much required. So these are the needs that you need to fulfill in order to stay motivated. And one of the theories is Maslow's, what he has shared with all of us to understand and to go forward in our life. And also he says that if you have all this in your life, there could be certain things which is not there, but never mind, it's not going to kick in. You are going to be happy to move forward in your goal and you will achieve what you want to do. A couple of other theories I would be sharing during the transition. So now it's the time for our table topic session. That we have come to end of prepared speech, three good, brilliant speakers. And table topics is a session where it is very interesting. It's going to develop your skills of listening, thinking, and speaking. Topic is given and you will be asked to speak. So I urge all of you to participate. Don't wait for the topic master to call you by name. You can volunteer yourself when he's putting forward those topics and enjoy yourself and be happy about participating in the table topic session. And today, our table topic master or the topics master is Toastmaster Abhirami. Toastmaster Abhirami is a chartered accountant. He's also vice president of Barclays Bank. So I request Toastmaster Abhirami to please conduct the table topic session. Over to you, Abhirami.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Shrikant. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I welcome you all to the TT session. Let me quickly share this screen before I start. Yeah, so I hope my screen is visible. So yes, the TT session is the heart of any Toastmastering meeting. So where we all members learn how to think on our feet. Before we jump into the session, let me quickly brief you on the rules. Now this session is open for both the guests and the members. So you can nominate yourself or I can pick you randomly. And once we start, I'll give you a topic on the spot for which you would need to speak for about 1 to 2 minutes. To indicate the time, timer will flash a green flag at the end of the first minute, a yellow flag at the end of the 1.5 minute, and a red flag at the end of 2 minutes. So to be qualified, you need to speak for a minimum of 1 minute. And when you go beyond 2.5 minutes, you'll be considered disqualified. Now, the key skills that we learn from a TT session would be is to listen, that is to listen to the topic that I give, and then to think through and to organize your thoughts and structure it, and finally to deliver what you had in your mind. Now, quickly, let's move on. So, sorry, just my screen is stuck. Yeah. So we have these choices where I have categorized them into 6 different buckets. So you can pick a number, and based on that, we can go with the topic. So first, let me call upon Toastmaster Nadira. Okay, let me call upon Toastmaster Amjad. Can we have Toastmaster Amjad? Okay, I think they're having some issues in connecting. Okay, let me start with a guess. So let me call upon Toastmaster guest Iqbal. Will you be able to join?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm just trying to confirm the topic is thinking on your feet. Is that right?
No, please choose a number on the screen and I'll let you know the topic.
Yeah. Making a choice. Sorry, number 5.
Okay. So yeah, guest Iqbal. You are the principal of a school or an educational institution, and you are given the decision of deciding whether you'll have to implement a school uniform or go with a dress down policy. Your thoughts? I repeat, you have been appointed as the principal of a school, and you'll have to decide whether to implement a school uniform or a dress down policy for the students. Over to you.
Okay, tough subject. I think I want to say no. Give me some other topic. But no, I'll take it up. Well, the topic that has been given to me is a very tough topic. I'm a principal of a school, and I have to decide the dressing policy. It's a very difficult thing to decide what could the child's outlook on a certain dress would be. So I look upon myself in my own old days where I had absolutely no choice or no permission to even think about any change in this. I looked upon to myself to guide myself as to what should I be doing in these situations. What should I be doing in these situations? What happened to me when I never had any choice in these situations? It kind of stunted my decision making. It kind of stunted my own self-esteem. That I did not even have a choice to decide what I should wear to my school. Let it be uniform. Let it be any other decision I could make regarding my own choice of dresses. So I chose yes. I will have my students decide what they want to wear, whether they want to wear a school uniform or maybe a dress down decision on their own on certain days. Maybe a Friday would be a casual wear. From Monday to Thursday would be a certain amount of formal wear. But they don't have to really be confined to a uniform status, which a school imposes on everyone else. Thank you very much. That's it.
That was great, guest Iqbal. That was a great attempt. You are really good at it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So next, let me call upon Toastmaster Ranju.
Yes, TT Master.
Yeah. Please pick your number.
8.
Great. So you'll have to use the following words in your speech, which will be beach, football, and bike. I repeat, you'll have to use the following words in your speech: beach, football, and bike.
Thank you for the wonderful words, TT Master. So a great combination of words, and good evening, one and all, for for all of you. So sorry, there's a background noise at my end. Please give me 10 seconds. Yeah. So about the beach, football and bike. So I could remember a story in which I was in Pondicherry actually. It was like not a planned trip. So I was one day I was just like feeling a little bored, and I just like went out to go to our nearby beach in like EMR, but OMR, but the beach was closed. So I was looking at the board. There was one signboard which had written that Pondicherry 130 kilometers. So I thought, why not? Let me go straight. So that is how I reached the Pondicherry, and the beach was really nice. It was really fun, and the bike ride in the Pondicherry beach in the OMR, the road, which is the best thing about Chennai that I have found so far. And I didn't get a chance to play football, but there were kids who were like playing football in Pondicherry, and I really wished that I could go along and play. But because of the current COVID scenario, I restricted myself. I didn't go and play the football, but I really enjoyed the bike ride and the beaches. Thank you, TT Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ranju. Indeed, this was a very apt topic. Great that you picked it spot on. So next, let's have guest Vasant.
Hi, yeah, good evening.
Hi, Vasant.
Yeah, hi.
So
Hi, TT Master.
you can pick your number other than 5 and 8.
Yeah, I'll go with 4.
4. Great. So your topic is work-life balance is the key to effective living. I repeat, work-life balance is the key to effective living. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a good Sunday. So the work-life balance is everything. A man should find a right balance between his work life and his life outside work, because it's all about everything. If we take a look at successful entrepreneurs or businessmen, they are the ones who have a good work-life balance, good work ethics. So life is not all about working and achieving something in life. It's also about reaping the benefits of the work and staying back and enjoying the life after work. Apart from this, a lot of families today, in today's world, are having issues within the family because of people not having proper work-life balance in between them. Thus, I'd suggest everyone probably to make a space for work as well as family, so that the life remains intact and uh, uh, it, it, life remains intact for everyone, and it'll be more. So yeah, I seriously advise everyone to have proper work-life balance. Yeah, sure.
Great attempt, guest Vasant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, yeah, I know that Toastmaster Pankaja has been a speaker, but still I would want to call her for the TT session. It would be great to hear you, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Please pick a number, ma'am.
Okay. Number 3.
Great. Real learning doesn't happen in the classroom. Real learning doesn't happen in the classroom. Over to you, Toastmaster Pankaja.
This is so true. I agree 100%. In the classroom, no one tells you that you can't do anything alone. The classroom says, study very well. Be in the first 5 always. Only then you will stand up. Only then you get admission into the engineering college. You make in the merit list. That's what classroom tells you. Now, what we don't know is whoever has achieved anything in life, in any domain, sports, Sachin Tendulkar, it could be Tiger Woods, it could be a dancer, any field, a speaker, they all have a team to help them. And that team helps them to progress exponentially. If you were to only work by yourself and just close your doors and say, I'm going to work for 24 hours every day, you will progress, but not to the level where you want to go. Real learning happens when you work as a team, a mantra which your classroom doesn't tell you. No teacher tells you that. And that is what I have now explored. I am planning to write a book. I write a book. I have an accountability partner. She is almost like a co-author. I meet her every day at 5:30 p.m. I know I have to speak to her, and therefore I write those 10 sentences every day. Real success happens when you work as a team, but this mantra is not told to you when you are in the classroom. Real learning happens outside the classroom. Back to the table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pankaja. That was amazing. That the real learning doesn't happen in the classroom, and it's all a secret mantra that no one tells you. Great. Next, let me call upon guest Rohit.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Rohit. Yeah, please choose a number.
I would choose number 11.
11. Okay. Now, what would you do if you had one full day just at home to enjoy yourself? What would you do if you had one full day sitting at home to enjoy yourself?
Well, that is an easy topic. I do have full days sitting at home to enjoy myself. And nowadays, the biggest enjoyment you get is using your mobile phone. Everything you need, right from entertainment, information, or anything, games, everything is on mobile phone. So there are OTT apps which I use, from Amazon Prime to Netflix. Then there will be some games which you would play. Then there will be some news you will watch. And one thing which I'm passionate about is stock markets. So that also I follow it on my mobile phone. So if I get a one full day, then also it will be the something similar. I'll be spending my day mostly on my mobile phone other than eating, sleeping and all. And it will be going through watching some OTT movies. Then it will be basically playing some games, looking at some news, and looking at stock market. That's what I generally do, and that's what I will do. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hi.
Rohit.
Over.
We got to know you well through this TT session. Yeah. So next, do any other guests want to volunteer, or any other members would like to volunteer?
Yeah, I will go next. Shiva Madhyaragan.
Okay.
Madhyaragan, yeah.
Okay. So we'll have guest Sivamadi Aragan. Please choose a number.
My number is 11.
Okay, 11 is done.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go with 12?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, great. So here's your topic. So assume you've been given the COVID shot now, and you're all ready to fight against COVID. Now, what would be the first thing that you would do? I repeat, after taking your COVID vaccine, what is the first thing that you would do?
Okay. I will take some seconds. Okay, I will start now. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am feeling very much happy with the COVID, actually. But you have given me the controversial topic to me. Why I am saying is, like, I was really enjoying the COVID with along with my family members, as I'm the employee of the company, but I didn't get the chance previously, but in COVID makes me to stay with my family. So that is the difference. But The topic is on the after COVID. So if COVID is the first thing, what I will do is um, I will go back to the. I'm currently at the native, so I will go back to my workplace, Bangalore, and because almost around 8 months of the gap, I could not meet my friends, colleagues, and fun moments. We missed our get together and dinners and the seminars, whatever it is. So I'm missing the totally of the office environment and the friends. So that I have to get it back. That will be my first priority. And second thing, uh, the COVID, which makes me to be in the one place. If it is available, if it is over, then I will explore the place wherever I missed the last 8 months in and around the Bangalore and the outside also. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Over to you, TTM. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gesula Madhyaragan. That was very true. I think that's what most of us are experiencing at the moment. Those of us who go to IT Park to work, all of them being at home, we are enjoying all the sweet time with the family. Okay, so now next, can we have guest Shweta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Shweta, please pick a number from 1, 2, 6, 7, 9, 10.
I choose 1.
Great. So it's a proverb. Here you go. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. Over to you, Geshweta.
Okay. Thank you, TT Master Abhirami, ma'am. So hello, everyone. Honesty is the guest policy. That is the proverb that is given to me. So we often tend to think of honesty as a cliche word. We tell this to everybody. We tell this to kids who are younger than us. We tell this to adults, and adults tell this to us. They'll be like, you have to be truthful, you have to be honest. But what is the significance behind that? Like, what is the importance behind that? See, when you're honest and open about your opinions, about what you actually like and dislike, what you can do and cannot do, what you have seen and have not seen, what you know and do not know. When you do all that, when you are being honest with other people, you are actually being honest with yourself. And that actually makes your life much easier. It's not just about it being a very noble character. It's about making your life and the lives of people around you much easier. So when let me give an example. So when you are not being honest with yourself, you will tend to adjust to every single thing, thinking that, okay, so only when I do this, I will be liked. Only when I do that, or only when I don't, only when I do follow these people or do not do this thing, I'll be accepted by the society. But that's not your life. That's not how you live. So living life to the fullest is possible only by being honest with yourself. So this is my take on that proverb. Honesty is the best policy. Thank you. Over to the TT.
Thank you, Geshweta. Being honest to yourself, that's very amazing. Yeah. So next, let's have Toastmaster Manoj.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Toastmaster Manoj. So your numbers here would be 2, 6, 7, 9, and 10.
It's 9, ma'am.
7?
9.
Oh, sorry, 9. Okay.
Nobody has touched that. So
Yeah, great. So going with the theme. So how do you keep yourself motivated? How do you keep yourself motivated? Over to you, Toastmaster Manoj.
do you feel life always gives you everything that you wanted and aspired for? It's really difficult, isn't it? Very good evening, and thank you so much for giving this theme, Madam Toastmaster Abhirami, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Life many times breaks you down. If you look into it, I have started from a very, very nascent level. I worked as a medical rep. I worked as a civil supervisor. I worked even in a hotel as a supplier. Everything I have done. Many times what we will do is that we will see that the responses which we get from others, and that we think that that is a judgment. That always will shatters you. When I reached finally after working across various places in India, after that when I reached Chennai, Tyson Group JBM, wherein I was assigned to a particular small job where I was working day and night. And I have seen almost everyone is getting good pay and they are getting good respect. I just have looked into it. I thought maybe probably I'm destined with my just BA economics degree and I may have to just keep afloat. That is what I have to do. That is the time someone like one company secretary has come to me and touched on my shoulder and said, Manoj, actually I see something special in you. Probably you can do something good. There are few institutes here in Chennai. You can just go around and inquire. I approached CA Institute. I went to the Cost Accounting Institute. I have also reached the Company Secretaries Institute. And needless to say, just enrolled for my Cost Accounting degree and completed so swiftly. And now I'm about to complete my Company Secretary degree also. See, life has taught me one thing: no one will appreciate you. First, you yourself have to find and pat on your shoulder for the good works which you've done. And every time when you see smile around you, you need to pursue that. You have done something good for all. And you have to continually upgrade. Do not look at the results. Results are just a byproduct and outcome. That is supposed to come. But ultimately, winning not every battle is not, it's not a necessary. Ultimately, the war, if you win, that is the focus that you have. I really looked at take the message of Toastmaster Pankija ma'am. Focus on your goals and just move ahead. That is what which finally we all need to do. Over to you, Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. Thank you for sharing your real life, how you really do it from your heart. It was right from your heart. That was amazing. Thank you so much. We had a very good participation today. Thank you to all the guests and members who participated. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Shrikant Kuttikrishnan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhirami. Thank you for that very interesting table topic session that we had. Now, can I request a timer to please read out only the names of qualified prepared speakers and TT speakers. Only the names. Timer, will you please do that for me?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Shrikant Kuttikrishnan. The qualified speakers are Toastmaster Puni, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, and Toastmaster Pankija. And for the table topic session, the qualified speakers are guest Iqbal, Toastmaster Ranju, guest Vasant, Toastmaster Pankija, guest Rohit, guest Siva Madhyaragan, and guest Sweta. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Guests and Toastmasters, you have time left to decide who you would be picking as the best speaker for prepared speech as well as for table topic session. So now that we are talking about, oh yeah, the screen is there for you to choose the best prepared speaker. Please cast your vote.
No. The polls will be launched after the evaluation.
Okay. Okay, now that we have been speaking about motivation, Maslow's hierarchy of needs says that you need to have self-esteem, social security, you need to get your food, water, clothing, all that. He says if you have this, you can stay motivated. Well, it sounds great, but there's something else which I read. It's very interesting thing. The other theory is called the Virum's theory. Virum, V-R-O-O-M-S, Virum's theory. In this, Virum has something very interesting to share with all of us. He says, any person, for the effort that he does And if he's sure that he is going to be successful, that would make him motivated. That's the first part of the Virum's theory. For any person, for the effort that he has done is going to lead to success, and his efforts are going to be fruitful, he's going to be motivated. The second part of Virum's theory says, if he becomes successful, it should be recognized and he should be rewarded for that. So if these two things are met, a person can stay motivated. To make an effort and knowing that this effort can lead to success, not necessarily successful, but can, maybe he could be successful. And if it is recognized and if he is rewarded for that effort, he can be successful. So now that we have heard two theories, the first is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and now Virum's theory. And during the third transition, I will be sharing the third theory, which is very important for all of us to have in mind. And if we could meet all these requirements, the basic requirements, any person, believe me, can stay motivated from what you hear, or you can be motivated listening to others' stories. Now that we have finished our prepared speech, we have finished our table topic, now is the time for the results. So the results here is the general evaluation, the evaluation part. So they say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So how good the speakers were, how good the role players were, how good everything, including me, how good I've done my job, is going to be evaluated by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak, we are here to listen to you. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Srikanth. And evaluation is a process, and it's a very key process to every speech. One day I was making a biryani at home. You know why I compare biryani? Because I like it the most. I like to cook it. So I missed one key important ingredient in the biryani. Well, of course, it's the salt. So now I shared it with my family. My family members ate everything, and they didn't want to discourage me, or they didn't want to give me a heads down. They just gave me, it's all good. After I went, they just poured some salt and they ate it. So now it's my turn to eat now, and then I realized there is salt missing. I was then wondering why these guys did not give me a feedback. So now the next time I prepared another dish and purposefully left the salt in it. And then the next time when they eat, they were frustrated and they wanted me to give me the feedback. So I wanted to force the feedback from them. So now any speech without a feedback, there is no improvement. So a meeting in Toastmaster without evaluation is like a man driving without knowing the destination. So now, in order to evaluate our first speaker, I call upon Toastmaster Geeta. Toastmaster Geeta is a senior Toastmaster and has always aspired to become a better speaker every time. So to evaluate Toastmaster Punit, I would request Toastmaster Geeta to give your evaluation. Toastmaster Geeta.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. It's nice to be back again. A special good evening to Toastmaster Puneet. It was indeed a wonderful speech, and your speech was well aligned with the project. And you had a beautiful personal story to support your point, your message, which is like, don't worry, not to worry about being judged by others. And it is important to speak when in doubt. So that was really wonderfully placed. Congratulations on that aspect, Toastmaster Puneet. I also enjoyed the humor that you had in your speech, especially when you talked about the coffee toffee or your doubt again with your teacher regarding the revolution of the earth. That was really wonderful. And I'm sure even the audience would have enjoyed that as well. To tell you about another commendation, you had a beautiful emotional connect. We could really feel that what you were going through. And you also had a beautiful audience connect when you especially put forward your few questions like, how would you have been, how you all would have felt if you were in my shoes. So that was very beautifully put. Congratulations on that aspect also. I also have one suggestion for you. I hope you would like to hear that. Okay, it goes like this. You told us that you were at a point when you were at a point where you were in the professional disaster. So you talked to us about your professional disaster. We would have loved to listen to one incident where you really feel, or you feel that you could have acted differently. Had you acted differently, it would have been a giant leap to Toastmaster Puneet. Maybe you could have shared that one such incident where you could have acted differently, where you know, so you would have been better able to persuade us. So with the, on the whole, it was a wonderful speech. You had a lovely audience, emotional connect. The audience were engaged. You had humor in your speech, and you had a beautiful message as well. So if you could work on that one suggestion, you can take your speech to a greater level. Of course, your speech was really wonderful. You could have taken it to the next level. With this, I hand over the control to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Deepak. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta. Now, in order to evaluate our second speaker, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, I would like to invite an energetic and aspiring Toastmaster Ratika, who is currently working in Siemens. Toastmaster Ratika.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for such a wonderful introduction. A very good evening to all. Special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, I must say that you have delivered an excellent icebreaker speech. I must appreciate you for standing up and delivering your speech. It ameliorated the effectiveness of the speech, and it enabled you to use your hand gestures to express yourself better. You started your speech on a very high note with a big smile on your face, and your voice reflected the excitement that you had for your first speech. You described your family members using very effective words. Without having met them, I now know that your father is a highly committed person. How he started with only 70 rupees and now he owns 70 lorries. How your mother is a very kind-hearted person, and how you see the world through your brother. Very well said. You also described how it was challenging for you to study in a co-ed environment in your college. And despite those challenges, you achieved the title of the university topper. Then came the turning point in your life, 2012, when you opened your own school. Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, your journey from a homemaker to an entrepreneur is amazing, and it is indeed inspiring. I really liked how you ended your speech with a quote by Mother Teresa. You can do things that I cannot. I can do things that you cannot. Together, we can do great things. This quote itself explains how you are already a great team leader and how you appreciate teamwork, and how you have judiciously chosen your pathways, that is leadership development. It is indeed going to help you in your career. Overall, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, it was a great speech, and for an icebreaker speech, I do not have any recommendations for you. All the best, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, for your upcoming speeches. Way to go. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so
Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ratika. Now, in order to evaluate our third speaker, Toastmaster Pankaja, I would like to invite Toastmaster Nanda, who is currently working as a technical lead in Cisco Systems, who is always in search of excellence. And he is the current secretary for the Chennai Toastmasters Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Nanda, focus on your goals. Focus on your goals. No matter what others think. Focus on your goals. Focus on his goals. No matter what others say. Focus on your goals. Focus on your goals. This is the central message I got from your speech. Very loud, very clear. It was a fabulously delivered speech with a lot of elements which I liked, like how you use different voice variations to differentiate between the different characters. How your entire body spoke, your eyebrows, your eyelashes, your eye pupils, your facial muscles, your lips. You use almost every part of the body which is visible on the camera to make a beautiful impact on the audience. I liked it very much. But then to ameliorate the speech to the next level, I would like to share some thoughts on it. The first thought is about the kind of humor. The humor you used had me grinning right through the speech, but I didn't burst out, not even once. Why? Because your humor is more on body language, eye usage, facial muscles, small insurance. But you did not build up a situation. If you could build up a situation and then say something which audience didn't expect, I would have been burst out laughing. The next thought is about the central message. Your goal is to write a book, but you mentioned that just at the fag end of your speech. Almost other parts of speech is more about how others think about your losing your weight and your reaction to them. Maybe you would have brought up the book writing goal to the forward. It would have been a great central theme. The third thought I have is about the emotional connect. While I like the speech very much, but I wasn't emotionally sucked into it. Why? That's the question. So your speech had a lot of you use body language, voice modulation, all that thing, but there was not a central storytelling technique used to get me sucked into it. There is a fine line of difference between stand-up comedy and public speaking. Public speaking, you should suck your audience with your storytelling technique, and other humor are just add-on, like a pepper to be added on a soup. If you could build up a credible story with a powerful and add bit of humor, I am sure I would be emotionally connected and would have loved the speech even more. To summarize it, it was a fabulously delivered speech. If you could add few of my thoughts, like building on the central theme, adding a storytelling technique, and also to build an emotional connect, I'm sure you'll be an international public speaking winner. Over to you, General Orator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. So let's welcome, that is the table topics evaluator for today. So this table topic evaluation is a new process started only this year, which I will appreciate the entire team for doing it. So now, our table topics evaluator is none other than our Vice President of Education, who is Toastmaster Abhilash. Toastmaster Abhilash is an experienced table topic speaker and a chartered accountant by profession. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhilash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. Table topics is one of the many areas that Toastmasters uses to ameliorate ourselves on the go, on the run. I would like to point out a few observations today that I took down during the table topic session. First, guest Iqbal, you had an excellent organizing team to your speech, whereby you dealt some personal experience to state that you would support the no uniform policy. One recommendation that I have for you is that you had a slow start. I would urge you to start strong and also end strong. Moving on, Toastmaster Ranju, you were asked to give a story using the 3 words beach, ball, and bike. I would have liked to see more coherence in your story. The ball was added half-heartedly to the end of the speech. Had you integrated all these 3 words together more, it would have been a great table topic effort. The third speaker, guest Vasant, you had an excellent organization in your speech. You also gave personal suggestions on the work-life balance that had to be maintained. I would just urge you to have more confidence. And one thing, since we are on Zoom, request you to ensure proper lighting as well when you're on screen. Moving on, Toastmaster Pankaj on classroom learning. Amazing, on topic, no other words or recommendations. It was an excellent, probably an example table topic speech. Moving on, guest Rohit. One day where you enjoy yourself. I appreciate that you stayed on topic throughout your speech. My recommendation to you is to avoid repetition. You started by saying you would use your cell phone to play games and look at the stock markets. And you ended it also by saying again that you would play games and watch the stock markets. Please avoid repetition. Moving on, guest Mati Aragan. You had good delivery and you had news. You had good thoughts, but I would encourage you to focus on delivery and to stick to the main topic. The main topic came in only after a minute of your speech. Please focus on the main topic. Moving on. Guest Shweta. Excellent language, good organizing. I appreciate the way you turned a cliche policy, honesty is the best policy, into something which we all could ponder about. Great effort. Last but not least, Toastmaster Manoj. You had excellent language and creative thinking in your speech on how to keep yourself motivated. But I would recommend that you stick to the topic more. Almost during the minute and a half of your speech, I felt that there was no connection. But towards the end, you did manage to bring it in. But I would urge you that since we have only 2 minutes, to bring it in more earlier on in your speech so that we can recognize the topics. Overall, it was a great table topic session. Loved the speeches by our guests as well as Toastmasters. Looking forward to more such sessions. With this, handing over control back to General Lab.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash. That was indeed a good evaluation. Now, let us move on to our tag team report. So now, we already heard the timers report, and hence, I would like to invite Toastmaster Venu, our grammarian, to submit his report. Toastmaster Venu.
Why not timer? I think timer is supposed to give his report.
Yes, sir.
All. Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead. Timer, Lakshmi Narayana, please share your report.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, General Thompson. I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay. Here's the timer report for today's session. So I began capturing the time from Toastmaster Nanda from the past meeting briefing, and the real Toastmaster prepared speeches. Toastmaster Puneet completed speech by 7 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Rajalakshmi by 5 minutes, and Toastmaster Pankaja by 7 minutes 27 seconds. And coming to table topics, it's guest Iqbal by 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Ranju 1 minute 42 seconds. Guest Vasant 1 minute 21 seconds. Toastmaster Pankaja as a table topic speaker 1 minute 52 seconds. Guest Rohit 1 minute 26 seconds. Guest Siva Maria Aragan 1 minute 52 seconds. Guest Sweta 1 minute 53 seconds, and TM Manoj just about 3 minutes. And coming back to the last part is evaluation. Toastmaster Geeta took 2 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Ritika 2 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Nanda 2 minutes 58 seconds, and Toastmaster Abhilash 2 minutes 52 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. Now, I would like to call upon the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Venu, to submit his report.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, one and all again. And as a grammarian, today I have noted down some good usages, not so good usages. Let us first see the good usages of English language today. Toastmaster Ranju, as the presiding officer, used the word in third, and Toastmaster Srikanth used a lot of variety of good usages like vibrant, prominent, rapt attention, hierarchy, and alliteration like absolutely amazing. Idioms like hit the bullseye and butterflies in the stomach. And next, general evaluator Toastmaster Deepak, he used the over-exaggerator, frustrator, and speaker 1, Toastmaster Punit, sense of doubt, giant leap, inquisitive, face value, sail through, and Toastmaster Rajalakshmi. The second speaker, bursting crowd, underprivileged, pullers and backstone, intuition, and alliteration like efficiently and effectively. And speaker 3, Mr. Always Right is a good wordplay, and look gorgeous and provocative. And Toastmaster Ratika as an evaluator judiciously, and Toastmaster Nanda as the evaluator, burst of laughing, fabulous, and Toastmaster Abhilas as a TT evaluator, last but not least. And not some not so good usages also I observed. And whenever you are using some hand over something means giving it, but whenever you are just handing over the responsibilities, it should be hand the control over. Instead of hand over the control, it should be hand the control over. So that's one correction. And take up courage, instead of that we can use take courage or pluck up the courage. Reach out help, it could be better if you use the reach out for help. And 40 years back, it's a colloquial usage. The formal usage is 40 years ago. And most of the speakers, they use the question tag wrongly, that whatever the auxiliary verb they are using, it isn't it, whether it's a do verb or some other verb they are using isn't it. Based on the do verb, the auxiliary verb, you have to say that you read English, don't you? It should not be isn't you. So two speakers wrongly use the question tag, and it's in YouTube is wrong, on YouTube, on television. So in YouTube is grammatically mistake. And some verbs are stative verbs. That means it can't say it in continuous sense. For example, no, I am knowing you. It's not the right way. I know you. Same manner, have that when it means possess, you can't say that I am having. So that's so stative verbs usually we are not using in continuous sense, but many users use the stative verbs in continuous sense also. And also that in the OMR road, it's wrong, on the OMR road. And when you are talking about something in past, I am listening, was grammatically mistake. I was listening. So right. So today's word of the day used by 7 people. See, all together, combinedly, you can't break my record. As an individual, I used 8 times, but all together used only 7. And the users are, please give a big round of applause to General Evaluator Deepak and Accountant Toastmaster Manoj and Idiom Master Toastmaster Tarun. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, Evaluator Toastmaster Nanda, and Toastmaster Abhilas. They used the word of the day, ameliorate. I thought the ameliorate word itself will ameliorate more usage of the word of the day. Anyway, thank you so much for, this is my report. Back to the General Evaluator. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venu. Now, moving on, I would like to invite Toastmaster Manoj to give the counter report.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you, General Evaluator. Actually, my report I have written on a paper, so I'll just read it out. I have nothing to share on the screen. Presiding officer, let me begin with the presiding officer, Toastmaster Renchu. He has used an inappropriate interjection, that is and, where it is not really required at that place. Then he has one, and so also one time he has used at an inappropriate place. Now, TMOD Srikant, there were around 3 so's. At inappropriate places, balance everything, such a long speeches, wherein I could trace only this much. And Toastmaster Deepak, the General Evaluator, there were few space breaks on the speech. And then I could see at 4 times, and few repetition of the words were there. Then if you see on the Court Master TM Vignesh, I could see that he said okay during the speech, which was not required at an inappropriate place. There were 7 times, and he has used 4 times, 2 times, So he has used it 2 times. Then comes to the idiom master, TM Tarun. The sentence of the, that he has repeated twice, but he has used 3 times. Then Toastmaster Puneet, the speaker number 1, with the title When in Doubt. He has used but once at inappropriate place, and also at inappropriate place he has used 4 times. He has used it 2 times. Madam Toastmaster Geeta, there was 1 time only. Then on the then comes to Toastmaster rent, then comes to the TT speeches, wherein the Toastmaster Renju are 3 times further, and Toastmaster Asant are 1 time, and A so many times, that's approximately around 20 times, 2 times. Then then there comes to the guest Sivamati Ajagan. He used the 5 times at inappropriate place, and 3 times, 5 times. Guest Sweta, there were 4 times so. The word so is being emphasized at an inappropriate place. Then only when words that she has repeated twice. And Toastmaster Manoj, there were 2 breaks in the table topic speech where it could have been avoided. This is my humble report. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. Now it's time for the General Evaluator report. So I saw this entire meeting went really good and really liked the enthusiasm of every member participated here. So now the time started is exactly at 4 o'clock, which always I love because CTM always starts the meeting on time. And thanks to all the XComs and all the table topics and prepared speech session, speakers and guests. So now here, the tag team has done a wonderful job, and also the evaluation team also has done a very good job. So now Toastmaster of the day was very energetic throughout the meeting, and moreover, he was standing throughout the meeting. So that is very much appreciated. It shows the spirit, how he guides the entire how he takes the things very seriously, how he takes it. He also being an inspiration to many of the Toastmasters here to how we need to take the roles seriously. So thank you, TMOD. It was a very good and energetic speech throughout the session. It kept us listening instead of sleeping. So now all the speakers, especially thanks to TM Toastmaster Pankaja, you kept us moving around the head here and there. I was trying to find your eye contact. It is everywhere. We loved your speech so much. Thank you. And thanks to Toastmaster Puneet, my mentor, and Toastmaster Lajar Lakshmi. And it was an honor and pleasure to have you here in CTM. And wonderful and thoughtful job is done by Toastmaster Abhirami for the table topics. It is a new process. I loved it because every time we choose a word and then we will talk based on the word in the table topics. But here they have categorized into different categories. There was a proverb, and there were so many categories given, and we have to choose. It is a different way, and we loved it. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhirami, and way to go. So now, coming to the recommendation side, really, I don't see any bad usage of any. There was no glitch today. There was no technical glitch, which usually happens. So I couldn't tell any glitches now. So now, a wonderful job done by everyone. Please continue to do that. So that is my main recommendation for today. And one more small recommendation is that speakers, please ensure if there is no disturbance for you while giving your speech, it will help everyone, even including yourself. Thank you and have a good day. Wishing you all a happy new year. Over to you, TM Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. Thank you very much. Having heard Maslow and Bloom, I would like to conclude my role as a TM Modi by sharing few insights to all of you. Motivation is a state of mind which push every human being, every one of us, to perform to the best of our ability, to the maximum effort that we can put. And let me remind you, the effort is in your hand and the result is not. So 100% of your effort goes into what you are trying to do. And if you could do this, you can rest assured you would be definitely getting what you really want in your life. And as a leader, each one of you who are listening to me, each one of you sitting there are leaders by your own rights. You have some responsibility as a leader of your organization, school, or as a family, or wherever you want. Every one of us want to lead. And for you to lead, you should remember this, that you should be willing to do the things today what others will not do, in order to have the things tomorrow what others will not have. The road to life is narrow and crooked. You should not walk by sight. You should walk by faith. Let me repeat it. The road to life is crooked and narrow. You should not walk that road with sight. You should walk with faith in yourself. You should walk that you're going to reach your destination. And if you can put in all this effort, I'm sure you can be successful. And I also like to remind each one of you, you are here, I am here, not because what we have done for ourselves. We are primarily responsible, and what we are today is because of our family and the community that we live in. It is a responsibility for each one of us that we need to give back to the society what we have taken in for ourselves to grow. And with these words, I assure you, stay motivated, stay focused, because life is a gift given to you by the Creator, and how you live your life is a gift you give back to Him. Thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. Be motivated. You can achieve miracles in your life. Believe me, I am a standing example. From zero, not knowing to speak a word in English, no college training, absolutely nothing. I am here able to speak to different schools, colleges, and universities across India because I had the faith that I can achieve what I want to do. You can do that too. Believe in yourself. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Stay motivated. Back to the presiding officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth. It was another wonderful meeting. And as always, you were like vibrant and we were like overflowing with the quotes and insights which you had provided in today's meeting. So like we have quite a few guests today. I would like to start with the guest introductions while we conduct the polls. Can we have guest Shweta?
Yes, sir. Okay, so I
Yeah.
need
So
to
what did you
introduce
like
myself,
about
is
the
it?
meeting? Yeah.
Okay, so let me start with introducing myself. I'm Shweta, I'm an architect and I'm an aspiring speaker as well. And this is my second CTM meeting that I'm attending. So what I liked about it is that I learned a lot of things from each and every single one of you, from each and every single speaker. I had a takeaway. So that's the greatest thing about Toastmasters. That's what I would like to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. That's wonderful to hear. And we look forward to having you again in our meetings.
Sure.
Next, can we have guest Rohit?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. This is my first Toastmasters.
So, yeah, what did you like about? Yes.
Yeah. Hi. I like the first thing I liked is the table topics. It basically forces you to think and forces you to speak simultaneously. That's something which I feel like I am not able to do. Think and speak are two different portions. So like I can think and then I can speak, but both thinking and speaking simultaneously I feel I'm not able to do. And then in prepared speeches, I loved Toastmasters Puneet's speech. It was very motivating and I loved it. Overall, I liked the format and lots of learning for me.
Wonderful to hear. And we didn't know like to think and speak in the beginning, but in the Toastmasters journey, it teaches us that is one thing which I can see. So next, can we have a guest Shivamati?
Yes, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Siva Madiyaragan.
Yes.
One moment, let me search on my video. Actually, I have been part of the DNR Admos Bangalore club, Toastmaster club. But even I joined like 1 month back to the club. But I'm very eager to learn the more things from the Toastmaster. That's what I have been here, and I liked the way the CTM conducted the meeting. I'm just really looked on the TTM, the way of she is approaching the person to select the numbers, the choosing the topics. So I liked it very much. You people are doing good. I'm really happy and energetic after seeing the attending the CTM, and this is my first CTM meeting. Thank you.
Great to hear, sir. And we look forward to having you again in our meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Any other guests? Guest Vasant, can we hear from you? What did you feel about the meeting?
Yeah, hi. This is Vasant. I am a businessman and a trader here, and I like the way the whole meeting was conducted. It was professional, and guests were welcome to the meeting. And as a guest speaker, I felt pretty much comfortable in putting across my points in the platform. And yeah, everything about the meeting was very professional and conducted well. I'd like to be a part of future meetings too. Yeah.
Great. That's wonderful to hear. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah. Any other guests who would like to, whom I have missed out? Anybody or? Yeah, I hope I have not missed out any guests. So we'll go on to the next session, which is appreciating the first time role players for today. So we have like quite a few first time role players. So we'll start with the icebreaker. First icebreaker, which was given by Toastmaster Rajlakshmi. So we have a tradition of giving a standing applause to the icebreaker speeches in CTM. So can we all like unmute ourselves and clap for Toastmaster Rajlakshmi? I will spotlight.
Thank you so much for all your support.
And we also have a few other new role players like our Toastmaster Vignesh, Toastmaster Tarun, and of course our general evaluator Toastmaster Deepak. So these are the first time role players. I would like to give like a big round of applause for all three of them for performing. So next up, I would like to congratulate the special person who made our meeting so beautiful with a wonderful speech and next fabulous TT topic as well. Toastmaster Pankja ma'am, we would like to thank you from the bottom of our heart. Like come to CTM and give us a speech. We would like to hear a few words from you, ma'am.
First of all, I'm very embarrassed. I'm not the district champion. I'm the division champion. And I get really scared when I hear the word champion. So I'm just one of you. I'm just trying to improve. That's where. But I felt very much at home. Very thanks to Puneet. He's my friend, dear friend. So he brought me here. And when I came here, it was a family. So very happy here. And the way you took up each role, everyone was so serious, starting from the Toastmaster of the day to the every role player. You take the roles very seriously. I can see that heart and head working together. You took the time to. So I'm so grateful to be here. I learned a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. That's so wonderful to hear, and we look forward to having you more, ma'am.
Yes, sure.
So now it's time for me to declare the results for today's meeting. So I would like all of you to unmute yourself and clap for the winners. So the best tag role player goes to our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Venu Neelakandan. A best quote/idiom master goes to Toastmaster Tarun, the first time role player. Best TT speaker guest. Any guesses? It goes to guest Shweta. The best role player of today goes to our TT master, Toastmaster Abhirami. Our best evaluator of today goes to Toastmaster Vratika. And best TT speaker guest, best TT speaker member, it goes to Toastmaster Pankaja ma'am. And the best prepared speaker for the day, any guesses?
Toastmaster Pankaja.
Puneet.
It goes to Toastmaster Pankaja. Ma'am, congratulations. Congratulations to all the winners. And our now time is 6:02 p.m. We are 2 minutes past our closing time, and I would like to adjourn the meeting at this point. And we look forward to seeing you all in meeting number 761 with another fabulous meeting with another fabulous role players. Now I would stop the formal meet and we would move into an informal meet. We can